Hi, would you tell us your name?
Brian.
Okay, Brian, tell us, you had went through some things that you were facing, including depression and other stuff. Tell us, what was the hardest struggle that you faced?
My hardest struggle was actually family, because family will always be there for you, but even sometimes it felt as though they weren't there, because I was alone in New York, right? I had my step-family there, I had my mom and dad here in Houston, and then my sister and all my other relatives, my other close relatives, my maternal family here in Los Angeles. And so when I tried calling them, sometimes they didn't answer, and they would also tell me whenever I called them that I was too depressed. They didn't want to talk to a depressed person because it makes them depressed. But I needed that person to talk to, and so I had to turn to friends or other people because no one else would talk to me. And so feeling that depression was hard because it didn't seem as though anyone understood where I was coming from. And people were always like, you know, you could always ask me for money if you need it, and that's one of the factors that came into me being depressed. But I feel as though me asking them for money when they're already financially struggling, it's like asking an unemployed person for money who can't function themselves.
When you were depressed, how would you describe what you were feeling, what kind of thoughts you were having, what the emotions of actually being depressed? What was that like for you? I
couldn't function, I couldn't concentrate. I was sleeping a lot, way more than I used to sleep. I was having suicidal thoughts as well. I felt like just giving up on everything I worked for, because I do a lot of things. I'm in the martial arts, in New York, I'm at New York University, so I was in the martial arts club, I was in the Filipino club, but I was also starting a fraternity. But whenever things started, everything fell apart. So even starting the fraternity, it felt as though nothing was working because not everyone was putting in their share of the work. And while I was also a sports coordinator for the Filipino Association, where we did intramurals, but I felt as though I couldn't always give as much as I wanted to. I couldn't be that leader that they wanted me to be, because I had school and work and family drama and depression. I didn't want to do it anymore.
So you felt very overwhelmed. What would you say to other people, young people, or anyone out there that's facing a depression? You're doing better now, but those that are kind of right in the middle and they have trouble waking up each day, or they don't feel like they have a reason to live, what would you say to those people?
Find a purpose. If you don't have a purpose to live, then why are you living? Everyone struggles to find a purpose in their life. Everyone's trying to find something to do, to be, a goal. Have a short-term goal. Say, even if you feel like you don't want to wake up tomorrow, say, tomorrow I'm going to wake up at 8 o'clock. And if you don't wake up at 8 o'clock, don't be frustrated. Just be like, okay, how can I make this better tomorrow? Let's say instead of 8 o'clock, let's wake up at 8:30, 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock.
And you're finding, as time went on and you got treatment and you got help, your life is getting better. You found a purpose. You actually started a business and went back to school, and there is hope for other people that are facing depression?
Of course. For me, I haven't actually been back to school yet. I got out of school last August, and I haven't been able to go back because NYU tuition is off the wall. So I can't really do that, but I find schooling is a place to where you have to work for someone. When you go to school, you're trying to look on how you can work for someone, because even if you go to a different school, that Marketing 101 at NYU is different from Marketing 101 at Columbia. But you're in the same city, you're taking the same classes, but the principals are different, the teacher is different, thus the procedure is different. So as you continue on going through college and through school, it's about what do you want out of the class? What are you going to educate yourself with? So after I got out of school, I continued to learn. I decided that I wanted to be a massage therapist. So I went to a massage therapist school. Unfortunately, I didn't get to finish because a lot of things happened. I didn't have the money to actually be in school. I did some things where I got a massage, wasn't able to pay for it, and they didn't have my deposit for massage therapy to take the classes, but it's like, I thought you said that as long as I pay before I graduate, then it will be okay. So it's a lot about people's words and people's words getting mixed up, being misinterpreted, and there's not that two-way communication anymore.
Does that struggle when you had depression that was very hard and then you start getting better and then struggles keep happening? Is it a day-to-day work to keep yourself motivated, to keep yourself so that you don't fall back into that depression? Do you have to every day try to do something to keep yourself from falling back to that level of depression?
For me, it was an accumulation of everything that was going wrong in my life. You know, I didn't have family because they weren't there. Even when I called them, they weren't answering. I didn't have money for a job. I felt as though my degree was pointless because even when I got the job that I got in real estate, because I'm a real estate major, it's like, I don't like this because my boss is like, he's just mean, you know? But I realized that no one's really mean. It's the way that you interpret it. My boss wasn't being mean to me, he was giving you tough love, per se. My family wasn't mean to me because they didn't want to talk to me. It's just they didn't want to be depressed themselves. They didn't want me to bring them down. And so for me to continue to go forward, I continue to do more things. But that's because I have many goals in life. There's many paths you can take to get to one house. So there's many things you can do to get to your ultimate goal. It's just, do you take the shortcut, the long way, or do you make a way? So.
Well, thank you very much for sharing your story. And the last thing, if you could briefly summarize, what did you learn from all that you've been through? I know there's been a lot of challenges and struggles. If there's one lesson of everything that really, you think about, what is that lesson from what you went through?
That even when you feel that you're alone, you're never really alone.
Thank you so much.